What's up guys, Doomsday here. Today we're back again, and in this video we're going to be playing some Vi in the jungle. So Vi is a pretty interesting champ, and a lot of junglers are kind of split on their opinions on Vi, and some people think Vi is really solid, and other people just think that Vi really doesn't provide enough for a team. And in my opinion, I do think Vi is still a good champ, but I think you have to pick it very situationally, as it's different than a lot of other champs in that it's single target focus, so you mostly look to lock down one target. And that just makes it harder to play than another kind of champ that's just like pure assassin style, or a bruiser that has like area of effect and can hit multiple champs such as like Wukong or Jarvan. But one of my favorite champs to actually pick Vi into is Kha'Zix, as I think Vi does super well into Kha'Zix, as Kha'Zix is generally known as a pretty strong 1v1er, and their isolation damage makes him super strong, but Vi has really good lockdown on Kha'Zix, and that's actually the main reason why I pick Vi in most cases, is just that Vi, you can't really get bursted down because of your second ability, plus you're just naturally pretty tanky. Plus I run Aftershock rune on Vi too, so that makes it even harder to burst me down. We're going to see that in this video actually, that it's going to be super hard to burst down Vi. So now, I'm just starting off with the standard clear, and actually it had been a while since I played Vi, so actually on Vi you could do a 4-camp clear. You can clear both your red, this, and these wolves, and the blue, and still make it to Scuttle relatively on time. So we're going to see that I actually make it to Scuttle pretty early, and that's definitely my bad. It had just been a while since I played Vi. But I'm pinging my teammates, I want to go for this Scuttle, and that's really important because if you look at these lanes right now, it looks like Kha'Zix is going for a gank. Diana might be dead here. Yup, but that's his flash out over there. And Akali is super low, so no, I can take this. And if Kha'Zix does come, I'm pinging my Baron laner to rotate down, so that's why I'm spam pinging on the map right now. And now we can look to fight this because Akali is too low to even come this way. So now I'm waiting to see where the Kha'Zix is. He backs off, and notice something really key that I do here. I know Kha'Zix is down here somewhere on this side, looking to secure this. And the thing about Kha'Zix is Kha'Zix has one of the best secures in the game with his first ability plus his smite. He can outsmite majority of the junglers, including Vi, most of the time. So what I do is I try and get on the other side of the Scuttle. I try and get onto this side and push the Scuttle upwards. Because if you didn't know, the Scuttle actually runs away from you. So you'll see, like, once I get on the other side of the Scuttle, it starts moving upwards. So now, if Vi is looking for this, he has no way of getting to the Scuttle, except for going through both me and the Darius, and he won't be able to do that, just because we both can just crowd control him up. So he actually ends up dipping and going to the other Scuttle. And I'm pinging, I kind of want to go for that Scuttle too. Maybe we can look to contest. This bot side over here seems to be pretty even, but I'm pinging my mid laner, and now we're both heading on to this. So I'm trying to land my first ability if I can. That's really, really key on Vi, is if you miss your first ability in these early engages, that's going to be pretty useless. But yep, it's really nice that I was able to get my mid rotate there. And now I'm actually looking for this Kha'Zix here for a couple of reasons. One, look at the level difference right now. I'm level 5, Kha'Zix is level 3, and also I know that I have a health advantage on Kha'Zix, and I already have blue smite also. Plus Kha'Zix had burned flash earlier. So if I can get onto Kha'Zix here, that's pretty much a free kill. So actually, I try and make a sneaky play and wrap around this way, around the blue, but this Akali does a very good job of covering for the Kha'Zix, and you can see they spot me out, so I just dip off, and instead I just go onto the Akali. But I know that Kha'Zix is on this blue buff, because I know Kha'Zix cleared his entire red side jungle, and then he looked for this Scuttle up here, so now only his blue side jungle is up, so it only makes sense that he's just farming up this blue side. And the reason I'm pinging that out is because after Kha'Zix clears this jungle, he has a couple options. He can gank that mid lane or that bot lane, so those two lanes need to be careful now that they know that Kha'Zix is on his blue, or he could just reset and then look to go back to his red side. So it's just really important to know which side of the map the Kha'Zix is on. So you see, I'm kind of keeping an eye out, and I'm really covering for this lane, and actually that's why I'm still hanging around here, and I'm just being careful, is because if you look at it from the enemy's perspective, like from the Kha'Zix's perspective, and you look at this duo lane over here, our duo lane is super far extended, and you can actually see this Nami's trying to ping the Vayne to retreat on the minimap, just because Kha'Zix is in the area. But I actually start to head mid because I see this Akali start something up, and they did a really good job of dodging the diagonal, but I know I could just ult this Akali here, and able to take him down. The Diana did go down, but as you can see, this Kha'Zix is looking for the gank over here, and that's why it's super important to know which side of the map this Kha'Zix is on. So now I'm actually heading down here, and I'm looking for a counter gank, actually, if this Kha'Zix does go in. So you see, he does go in. Nice flash by Vayne to dodge the Braum ulti, and now I'm looking to see if I can clean this up. And now notice what I'm trying to do over here actually is look at my abilities. If you look, see, I have everything on cooldown. I literally don't have a single thing up. So what do I try and do instead is I try and get next to this Vayne, because Kha'Zix is all based off of isolation damage. So we'll see this more in the later stages of the game, but Kha'Zix's isolation damage is where most of his damage comes from. So even though I didn't have any abilities up, the main reason why I flashed onto Vayne is because I wanted to make it so Vayne was unisolated, and that's one of the big strengths of Vi, actually, is you can do that to your teammates, is you can easily get near them and make it so Kha'Zix can't get off his isolation damage. But now, just clearing my red buff and waiting for the objectives to spawn, and I'm sure Kha'Zix is doing the same too, but really, I kind of want to wait for my ultimate before we go for this dragon fight, and I kind of want to wait for this Nami ultimate too. You can see it's only about halfway off cooldown, because those are really good disengage tools against hard dive champs like Kha'Zix and Akali. It would be super nice to have. But you can see Kha'Zix is in the area. He's looking for the dragon too. They have full control of the river. We have absolutely no warding or anything, which is pretty unfortunate. But you can see they're kind of starting it up, and they're playing super aggro over here. They walk up all the way into my jungle, and I try and get out of there, but unfortunately I do go down. Looks like this Vayne's also getting chased down, but he is able to get out of that. And that was a really good play by them. They realized that they had the ultimate advantage and they had the positioning in vision advantage. So they were able to play super aggro into my jungle, which I really wasn't expecting. So that was well played by them. And they do secure this dragon, but that is perfectly fine, as once we get to later stages of team fighting, we should have more utility. Plus, we just need some time for this Vayne to kind of turn on. So now I'm starting up this dragon over here. We have a really good ward. Somehow we got a really deep ward over here. Don't really ask me how, but we did, and that definitely got vision of Kha'Zix. So now I know I can start this up and be perfectly safe. So I'm able to secure this. And now looking to move upwards. And I'm pinging that. Actually, I know that the Camille was walking this way. I think I saw him on the map or something. So that was actually why I headed here, and why I'm pinging on their side of the map is because pretty sure both Kha'Zix and Camille are around. So now this Camille's walking this way, and I really wanted to catch this person off guard. So I charge up my first ability, land it, knock him up, get the good burst. But actually, I wanted to explain why I don't keep on fighting after that. And the main reason for that is I know after I use my burst ability, is that Camille's just going to auto-attack me, and when Camille auto-attacks me, they're going to have their perk, and that perk gives them that shield over here. So there's pretty much no point in me staying and trying to get a little bit more damage until that shield runs out, and then once that shield runs out, we can look to re-engage. So that's a good hook by Darius. And now, this is one of the things that makes playing a jungler a high skill cap role, pretty much, is because you have to know what all these champs do, both Darius and Camille, what their strengths and weaknesses are. So looking at this, I know what Darius wants to do is Darius wants to get auto attacks. He wants to build up his perk. He wants to get those 5 stacks of his get the Inox or something. I forgot the name of it. Sorry about that. But he wants to get his 5 auto attacks. So you can see he lands 1 auto attack, and then he has 1 thing, and he's about to land the second one. But that's the reason why I actually ultimate this Camille here, is because I'm trying to give this Darius more time to land his stacks, his perks, or his passive, so that he can land his ultimate and pretty much just delete this Camille. And the reason why I need to chain this, you can see right as that crowd control from Darius is about to end, now I'm following up with the ultimate. And the reason for that is I know Camille is just going to try and hook shot away. So I buy Darius a lot of time. He gets 4 stacks, but unfortunately he does not use his ultimate in time, so that Camille actually gets away, and that's kind of unfortunate because that would have been a really good kill there, and that would have put us super far ahead if we were able to get that. But now this Akali's heading up behind us, and I really want to be cautious of this Akali ult, so I'm trying to get him off this Darius, but looks like that Darius does go down to the Akali ult, but this Diana is able to rotate, and we're able to pick up the Akali. So their Braum actually came too, so that's fine. So did our Nami, actually. Our Nami's on the way, but the objective is gone. The fight is over, so really no point in that. But now I'm just going to keep on farming up my jungle, looking to get more items. But I'm actually duo with this mid lane Diana, and we have been grinding a lot the past week. So, yep, there's a fight happening in mid lane. I still don't have my ult off cooldown. Charging it up. They're all too far away still. We kind of force them out. Now we kind of are getting some positioning. Our champs are kind of starting to turn on. So Vayne is starting to deal more damage. Diana is starting to be able to land good ultimates, which is solid. And yep, we see the Akali on the top side over here. So Darius needs to be careful of a roam, as Akali is very, very scary when they have their ultimate. Like, an Akali ultimate can pretty much delete like any champ. Or any kind of squishy, at least. If you just land the full combo. But yeah, for Vi, I really like to play him into champs like Kha'Zix or other really high burst champs. So champs like Zed, Fizz, things like that. Because you can survive big burst damages like that. And over here, I actually see the Kha'Zix is above us. I placed the Herald, and I realized I kind of need to actually reposition. They all rotated, so now this is getting the charge, and hopefully we can get the turret with this. We get a lot of it. And now our Diana is on the way beneath us, actually, so I see the Akali go in. I'm able to force him out, which is solid, and there's the Diana ult. Force out another flash, and that's pretty good. So now I'm kind of in the back. I'm still trying to catch up, and now I see this Ezreal here. So I landed a good flash combo, and able to take down the Ezreal too. That Akali tried to get onto me, but I probably would have killed him actually if he would have gone in on that. I could have just first ability and smited, and he would have died. But now it looks like we're actually able to push down a second turret here. So our top lane is kind of getting destroyed out here. Let's see if Darius can pick up this kill. He has all 5 stacks of his perk, but again, he's not able to land the ultimate. His ultimate's actually on cooldown this time, so that's alright. But sadly, we lost that top turret there. And I think the enemy players, like, I think some of them were like challenger. I think the Camille was like past challenger, actually. And maybe the Akali too. I can't really remember. But that's unfortunate that our top lane is losing now, because we had a pretty decent lead in the top lane in the early game, but it's fine now. Really, for the rest of this match, I'm just going to be looking to play around this Vayne and lock down the Kha'Zix. So I have a lot of crowd control is the big thing about Vi, is whenever a champ like this Akali or the Camille dives in, my job is going to be to knock him up and crowd control him up for our backline. So I'm going to be trying to crowd control him up and knock him up so that Darius can land his perks and so that Vayne can kite back. So actually, Vayne is able to get a really good engage, and I stay on the dragon actually because I don't want to give that up. No, that's asking for a bit much, but I still have my ultimate. But I'm being careful because I don't want an ultimate underneath turret. That would for sure get me killed. That is a bad idea. But now the second Herald is spawning, and we can look to go for that soon. So I'm pinging. We can start this up because we didn't have a big team fight last time. We still have a lot of ults. So me, Vayne, and Diana all still, or me, Darius, and Diana all still have our ultimates. Now, looking for this over here, we actually don't have Vayne. Vayne's blocking off the Camille in the bot lane, but looks like we're able to get this, and Diana's just pushing in the mid wave. And now that's a good Diana ult. I'm able to not land a first ability. That was a good flash by Braum. That probably saved him there, actually. But I want to talk about the reason why I can't just ultimate Camille. And the reason for that is actually because of Camille's smoke ability. So if you don't know, if I just ultimate onto Camille, and trust me, I've learned this the hard way, but if you just ultimate onto a Camille blindly like that, or if you just ultimate onto a Akali like that, what an Akali is just going to do is they're just going to use their smoke ability, and then you won't be able to follow up. You aren't going to be able to land an auto attacks or anything. So unless you have a lot of teammates to follow up and you know you can lock them down, just ulting them like that is not worth it. And we'll see a lot of times in the future, or maybe, hopefully we see it at least once or twice this video, that I'm going to wait to see that Akali smoke is on cooldown before I do go in onto that Akali. So now, I see this Darius and Akali are both up here. The Kha'Zix is on bot side, so I'm actually maybe looking for a dive on this top side over here. So you can see I'm pinging. I know their jungler isn't around because their jungler's in mid, and I am looking for this. So now there's the Akali smoke, and you can see I wait for it to run out before I pop out, and then I look to just ultimate in. And the thing is I was really hoping that this Darius would keep on going, but if you see, his perk actually gets reset, which was super unfortunate. So unfortunately, neither of us actually do go down there. Oh, yep, looks like. Oh, actually, the Darius is going to go down. Let's see if I go down, though. Looks like I'm able to pick up the honey fruit, and me and the Vayne are able to turn this around, which is solid. So that was really unfortunate the Darius went out of combat. If the Darius would have stayed in combat, we for sure could have gotten that kill and both lived. Big see now. In a scenario like this, you actually can't even see it because I'm blocking it right now. There is no isolation damage on Vayne. So we'll see, actually. You can see, like, right now, you can see we're both isolated over here. So if the Kha'Zix jumps in, he's going to be able to get a lot of damage onto both of us. And if you look at me right now, I know I use my first ability. I use my ultimate too. So really what I'm doing is I'm going to make sure this Kha'Zix doesn't get the chance to jump back in and burst down our ADC. I'm literally just going to go and stand on top of our ADC. Like, that's what I'm trying to do. Like, now he has no chance to jump back in. Because the Kha'Zix doesn't want to jump in on a target that's not isolated just because you just don't deal enough damage. And that really takes away a lot of the value of Kha'Zix if you don't get your isolation damage, because that's really the main part of him, is when you get your isolation damage, you can completely one burst people. But now we got this Herald still charging. Hopefully we can get another charge with it. I have my ultimate off cooldown, but again, you don't want to dive too deep. And when ulting champs like Ezreal, you have to be super careful, because if you ultimate an Ezreal and then they dash back underneath turret or something like that, it will take you with them, and you will probably die if you go that deep underneath the turret. So you just have to be super careful about when you use your ultimate as Vi, and that's really probably the trickiest part about Vi. So now we all get a reset in here. Ooh, looks like Diana should be good, hopefully. Ooh, never mind. Oh wait, actually, that was a huge ultimate there. That was a really good ult. And he's actually able to turn that around. That was a good turnaround. But now I'm heading back, but that's a great Nami bubble, or Nami ultimate. And actually, they were able to all clean that up themselves. That was really well played. They did a good job of kiting that and turning that around. So actually, we have a ward in there, and that's just so unfortunate. But now, pushing down this mid turret over here. Overall, now, at this stage of the game, my role is literally to be like, another support. To just, like, crowd control him up, set up for my Darius, Vayne, and Diana, and then just be a tank. And actually on Vi, you can go either Conqueror or Aftershock. So you can see I'm chaining it up, trying to let this Darius land a good ultimate by giving him more time. And that time it did pay off. So now this dragon's about to spawn. Definitely looking for that, which should be good. So waiting for it to spawn up. I have Smite off cooldown. I see this Ezreal kind of walking up. And now, I was thinking about going in, but all of our teammates had just reset, so that'd probably be a bad idea, actually. But I landed a good burst onto Ezreal. And you can see, even though I'm running Aftershock, like, you can one-burst people on Vi. If you land your first ability at full charge, that's something that so many people underestimate, is you need to land your first ability. And it's so, so key that you do. Because if you don't, that's going to take away all of your damage. Ooh, that's a good jump by Kha'Zix, actually. He was able to get out of the Diana. But I'm just staying on the dragon, actually. I'm just going to secure that myself. And now we can look for a fight. But yeah, we have a late game scaling Vayne now, so that's really good. And it's for sure going to be hard for them to come back from this. So again, that's a great Nami ultimate. And that's another, like, you will see, like, this is why we need our ultimates off. Like, we need these major ultimates, such as, like, Vayne ultimate, Nami ultimate, is it allows us to kite back so, so well against these dive champs. And I think they actually surrendered there, unfortunately, but as you can see, that turned out to be a pretty good match. Thought I would share that match with Vi. But yeah, you can go Conqueror or Aftershock. Aftershock provides more utility and tank for your team. Conqueror more damage, of course. And it's really just depending on what you need your role to be for the team. So in this case, I knew we had enough damage with Darius, Vayne, Diana, so I opted for a more supportive, tankier role for our team. But anyways, I hope that's going to be it for this video. I hope y'all enjoyed, and me and this Vayne both kind of popped off, and the Diana definitely turned it around too after the early gank. But that's going to be it. I hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll see y'all in the next video.